324 biblical prophecies that prove Jesus is the Messiah. You are watching this on the Halachgoy channel of YouTube. I'm a Halachgoy, and you can be one too. 324 biblical prophecies that prove Jesus is the Messiah. Prophecy number 7. A priest after Melchizedek. This prophecy is found in Genesis chapter 14, verse 18. Then Melchizedek, king of Salem, brought out bread and wine. He was a priest of God Most High. We find the fulfillment of this prophecy in Hebrews chapter 6, verse 20, where Jesus, who went before us, has entered on our behalf. He became a high priest forever in the order of Melchizedek. Now we know that Jesus was not actually a priest, according to the way that it's described. He was not a Kohen. He was not a descendant of Aaron. According to the writer of Hebrews, he became a priest the same way that Melchizedek became a priest. And we can also become priests in the same way. So I'm asking, how did Melchizedek become a priest? He is, if we read the verse as it's presented to us, there are 3 parts to it. The first part says that he was a king. Then he brought food, he brought bread and wine to Abraham after Abraham had come back from a military campaign. He served him. He was like a waiter. He helped him out. And then the third part, after he serves him, he is referred to as a priest before God. How is it that a person becomes a priest before God, or as a priest before God, if he is not a Kohen? Clearly, the Bible says that the priesthood belongs to Aaron and his descendants. That would leave me out. That would leave most of us out. That would leave Jesus out. That would leave just about everybody out, except for that segment that is Kohen. King David would also be left out, but yet King David is referred to as having a priestly function. So how is it possible? What is he doing? I would suggest that the actual order of the verse here gives us the answer to this. Melchizedek is a man of high stature. He then lowers himself, becomes a servant to someone else, particularly a righteous man such as Abraham. And in being a servant and in giving gifts to a righteous man such as Abraham, he becomes as a priest. Jesus also shows in his narrative at the beginning of the Last Supper, he washes his disciples' feet. The disciples were very weirded out by this. They're like, "What are you doing?" He says, "This is what you have to do. I have to do this to you, and you have to do this to others." And that was what he taught. He taught that we are to be servants. And that is a way to be a priest. It doesn't actually make you physically a priest, but it symbolically places you in the position of being like a priest. So in that sense, Melchizedek can be a priest. Jesus, in that same order, can be a priest. And all of us can be a priest if we make ourselves servants to other people. So, for this prophecy, I think that Jesus did fulfill it, and in a way that we can all learn an example from. Thank you very much. Please stay tuned next time, whereas we'll be looking at the same verse in the book of Genesis and the same person, that Melchizedek was also a king. I'll see you then.